Hey everybody, what's up? Movie Drinks back again with another Netflix review for you. This time, The Silence. Directed by John Leonetti. He's also known for doing movies such as like Annabelle. He's mostly known as a cinematographer, which actually does show in this movie, and I will get to a little bit later. But the movie also stars Stanley Tucci, Kiernan Shipka, Miranda Otto, Kate Trotter, John Corbett, Kyle Britkoff. Wow, I got all the names this time. And the movie begins by basically giving us the prequel to The Quiet Place. It starts off with a couple adventurers or something like that. They're splunking down in a cave, digging where they shouldn't be digging, and they find, an uncharted cave system 1,000 feet under the Appalachian. And when they open it, well, a bunch of giant bat pterodactyls with demon heads jump out that, like The Quiet Place, they can't see, they just hear. And they basically invade Earth and they kill millions of people, city by city, which makes no sense because it seems like when they come out, they go for the big cities. So at some point that you kind of go, well, were they intelligent? That you really never know, but we're not going to get into that. We should just keep on going. And also, like The Quiet Place, when we finally do get introduced to this family, they have a deaf daughter. And that's pretty much how they survive, or they try to survive through this. They know sign language, so they start using sign language throughout the movie. Even though this movie does have a lot more talking than The Quiet Place. They move around, they jingle things, they whisper. There is dialogue in this movie as where The Quiet Place. There was just a lot of subtitles and a lot of sign language. During the movie, though, you do notice that apparently, even in this post-apocalyptic world, communication devices have not been completely destroyed. There's still apparently news broadcasts going on. They still get the internet. She can still talk to her boyfriend through like FaceTime. And that's where they learn about the refuge, which is where they need to go. It's supposed to be up like in the mountains. They decide to go on the run with their, I guess they call him his uncle. It's John Corbett, who... oh, man. He is not much of an actor. I really didn't know that. There's this one scene where he has this dialogue, and it's delivered so bad. It's like this. Hey, man, my leg's stuck.
Hey, man, my leg's stuck in here.
I think I'm going to pass out.
I'm going to pass out.
I mean, it's really that bad. Fortunately for the rest of the cast, it doesn't quite go that bad. Everybody else in this movie delivers a pretty good performance. I mean, Stanley Tucci, Kiernan Shipka, Miranda Otto, they're all good. I actually did come out enjoying this movie. And the family does do a good job, and the acting does, at making you feel for these characters along the way as sacrifices are made. The story here, I thought was pretty good. Like I said, it's just The Quiet Place. Changed around a little bit, recycled, pushed back out. The movie does bring some tense moments, like in the car, when they have to get out, and there's a lot of movement going on, and the dog. Why would you bring a dog? I mean, really. You can't have sound, so you bring a barking dog. I mean, like I said, this movie does really show how stupid people would be. And there are some freaky moments in here. There is other parts of this movie, though, that remind me a lot of The Mist. There is a lot of The Mist here, too. It's like Quiet Place meets The Mist. Because there's this little sequence that happens inside a pharmacy with these little creatures. And you see where they leave their eggs, which is really creepy. And there's a scene there, which was a really good scene. And it really reminds me a lot of The Mist. I'm not going to really go into it. I don't really want to spoil it for you. But it is where they run into this weird guy who's some sort of cult leader or something. They cut out each other's tongues. Of course, he wants fertile girls. And, some of these movies and their cliches, it's just really funny sometimes. I mean, like I said, I did enjoy this movie. But that part of the story, though, didn't really resonate with me. Up until then, because it's like the whole movie is about trying to run from these creatures, trying to save yourself in a post-apocalyptic world. And then there's this weird cult leader who just comes out of nowhere. And the whole moment with that, I mean, it's probably like 15 minutes. He just shows up to the house. Next thing you know, there's a confrontation. I was kind of enjoying the whole creature thing, you know, trying to survive the creatures. And now we got this whole cult thing coming in. Okay, so let's talk about some of the effects for these creatures, though, which you only get a few glimpses of them here and there. But they, like I said, they look like pterodactyls mixed with like a bat with like a demon head. It's the only way I can explain it. They actually did a really good job with them, I thought. The CGI looks pretty realistic here. And when they do attack, and they attack, it's not just one, it's like 20 of them. They just jump in there like vultures. They rip you apart. And it does show that. So for some age groups, this may not be appropriate. It is rated PG-13 for sci-fi violence and stuff like that, which actually I liked. But for some people, like I said, younger children, it may not be appropriate. It's directed by John Leonetti, and I want to come back to where I started off at the beginning of this review, which is the cinematography, which I know he probably had a big hand in. He has a lot of credits of cinematography to his name, and I would say this is probably one of the better shot Netflix films that I've seen recently. You know, it has some nice pan shots. Everything's lit well. He did a real good job here. It feels like a higher production than what it actually is. If there's anything I can really complain about this movie, because like I said, I actually did kind of enjoy it, would be the writing. It can get a little lazy at times. There's a lot of things that you see coming that you kind of know are going to happen, like at the beginning with John Corbett. I saw that coming a mile away when they switched cars with the kid. But at the same time, I gotta say, I really didn't see that ending coming. I actually thought maybe it was gonna be a little longer than that. It's an hour and a half long, so it does have a pretty abrupt end to it, which I did not see coming. Overall, it did work for me. So to wrap this one up, I'd say The Silence is like The Quiet Place meets The Mist. There's these mystical, primeval creatures that come up. Like I said, they look like pterodactyls. That can be pretty frightening at times. The story gets a little lazy in parts, and at the same time, it can actually shock you at times. And the acting overall got a pretty passable grade for me, except for that John Corbett. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Silence. Anyways, guys, thanks for dropping by and checking out my review for The Silence. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there. If you've seen The Silence, what did you think about it? Leave me a comment. I want to know what your thoughts are. But that's about all I have for right now. So until next time, guys, see you later.